Depressing mood, right? In the studio today.
I don't know where to start, actually, but probably one of the saddest days.
Yesterday Yesterday was one of the saddest evenings, one of the saddest games to watch, and it wasn't because of the result or how the game was going. Obviously, it was because of Keenan Evans's return to the EuroLeague floor after over 500 days, and that return lasted how many minutes? A couple of minutes, probably.
Less than a couple of minutes.
And one more time, out of nowhere, no real contact, no real physical play, let's say. For the third time in a row, Keenan Evans suffers a major injury. Not just an injury that's, 2 months recovery time, but a major injury that gets you out of the rotation for at least a year. For at least the season, let's say. And this comes after a ton of waiting, a ton of time putting work in to recover, to get back at this level. And it's just speechless how things can be so cursed, so unlucky for one particular player.
It could have been a fairy tale story, because in his first yearly comeback night, he's facing his former team. He's facing his former team where he actually last played an official yearly game. It's been 580 days between yearly games he played. And, you're facing Žalgiris. You could even see Žalgiris fans holding stuff, welcome back, Keenan. Olympiacos fans are celebrating your return, singing and chanting your name during the game. And wow. You mentioned 3 major injuries from 2023 to today, and second Achilles tear. Mm-hmm. Second in 2 years. The first one was in his right leg. Now it's in his left leg.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to recover after the first one. Although there are a lot of players who kind of recovered, who could still produce at elite level of basketball, but to have Achilles tear twice, it's super rare. I've checked, and I found basically 2 examples only. First one is actually out of the URBONUS. Mm-hmm. The difference was that in 1987, he had Achilles tear and he re-injured the same Achilles 3 months into rehab because he slipped on the steps or on the floor. So they had another injury. Another one with the ex-NBA player who actually had Achilles tear in both of his legs. It happened 40 years ago. There was a center, Stanley Roberts, who played for Orlando Magic and Los Angeles Clippers. He ruptured his right Achilles on December 4th, 1993. And then in his first game back, 10 minutes later, he ruptured his left Achilles in a preseason game. The difference was that it was a center, big guy, and he actually had overweight even when he returned. It's a completely different story with Keenan Evans. He did an amazing recovery. He was always he was known and recognized for an amazing work ethic. That's what helped him to recover after first Achilles before he got ACL, right, in 2024.
It was some other injury, wasn't it? Like it's very specific name of that second injury.
Yeah, but tough one.
Yeah,
major injury as well.
It's called patella something. I don't remember exactly.
And now he returns, and you remember, I'm repeating myself again, but I'm talking to him on the eve of the Final Four. I'm hearing the feedback that he's just killing in 5-on-5 practices in Olympiacos practice gym. It just like they didn't want to include him to the lineup, at this important stage of the season, that they were waiting for a better timing. And now this happens.
And don't forget what happened right before the season. September 17th, they're in the training camp, and he gets an injury to his right knee. And that already put him out until now, essentially, because he was training to be ready for the start of the EuroLeague season, gets injured right before it, and now he gets injured basically first game back, first few minutes back. Nothing in that situation looked like, it didn't look like he put his leg the wrong way, at least from the replay, but something must have, been wrong mechanically with his Achilles to pop. The first time I remember that was shocking as well, because that was in a EuroLeague game in January or something against Fenerbahce. He was just running after a rebound. I think he got a rebound and he was just going from his side of the court to the other. And just like someone shot him in the leg.
Exactly. He even turned around to check what happened.
Yeah. And then he fell down. Obviously, that was tough. Then the second one, it was the LKL semifinals, I think. And he got also looked like shot in the leg, but this time it was the knee. And then I remember when he fell down and he was like, why me? Why me? Like, for this, how can it be that I'm the guy to get injured again in a serious way? He probably knew right away it was a serious injury. And this time it was, no way. That's because literally no way. How can this happen to the same guy for the third time in a row? And obviously, the message here, stay strong, Keenan, is the most important, because mentally, I mean, this is what probably will be the biggest challenge. It's the physical recovery, you can get through that. You've done it now a couple of times. I'm talking about for Keenan Evans. But mentally, after putting, like last time he said, words cannot describe how I feel right now. It really sucks knowing how much I pushed myself to get back to playing at this high level. But life isn't fair and will never be. God makes no mistakes, and it's on me to be patient and trust in him. And I mean, I can't imagine how he feels right now after this is an even worse situation than any of the other two, because at least he played the whole season last time with Žalgiris. And this time, he just hasn't had the chance to. He had one game in the Greek domestic league where he looked great.
15 points in his return after 533 days of not playing. 15 points, 5 assists. Just good old Keenan Evans back.
And for me, what sucks personally the most is the fact that he's missing out what's supposed to be his best years of his career. If you remember when he came to Europe, he played one season in Israel, somewhere else.
In Bosnia as well.
Oh, really? Oh, okay, maybe I missed that. But then he played in Maccabi. That's his EuroLeague debut. He wasn't like a star there. Just the rookie year, let's say. We were discovering Keenan Evans. Of course, Žalgiris had an eye on him, got him in, gave him the role. He became really an established name in half a season, essentially. Got injured. Then, because of that injury, I guess Žalgiris was able to keep him for longer, because we saw the potential of a EuroLeague star, essentially. And then, after that injury, when he came back and had a great season with Žalgiris, he was scoring about 18 points per game.
Yeah.
Again, a superstar potential player. Not potential, I guess he was a star already. And that's why Olympiacos decided to sign this guy. And that's why there were so many hopes in his return, and why was the reception so big, because everyone was expecting a lot from this signing. And now he's 29 years old, and he's going to stay probably out until whoever knows how long.
Next season.
Next season's, I don't know if it's the start of the next season or is it going to be longer, Don't know how he's going to come back, because, like you said, coming back from Achilles is not easy. It's really, like a couple of guys have done it well, and a lot of have had very different careers than what they could have had after that injury. So I'm just thinking that it's just a shame he's missing, this portion of his career where from 27 years old, when he started getting injured, to now, where you're supposed to be in your prime, your best years. I mean, of course, he'll have a lot of years ahead of him. It's fine. But it just sucks, like, honestly.
Yeah, you mentioned, returning twice, and like, it sounds so simple, but it takes like 10, 11 months. It took 10 months for the first time, maybe even less. Now it took even longer. And as you mentioned, mentally and just from all perspectives, it's so tough because you usually have to put even more work than you do in your just regular daily basis practices and going through the season. And that's the hardest part because it usually takes you to spend full day rehabbing. And the problem is that you cannot perform, you cannot play, later. You have to be super patient. And to climb that Everest, I would call it, for the third time, once again, I mean, that's heartbreaking. That's really heartbreaking. I really wish he returns next year. I really wish that at least he will have a chance to display his talent one more time. But it's just tough. We can say stay strong, Keenan. We can share this love and support. There's a lot of love and support on social media and basketball community. And I mean, we're talking about one of the most beloved players that we have in the EuroLeague, one of the most anticipated returns, one of the most supported returns. Everyone was glad. Even Pana, they shared the message. And the guy's out again. I would I would really like to send him, wishes, to send this energy, but I don't know how the guy is coping with that, really, because nobody was in that position. So the good thing is that sports basketball career is one thing, and the other thing is, let's not forget that it's not life-threatening situation.
Yeah.
And Keenan Evans is still a young man. He might still play, even if not. He built some wealth throughout his career years. He has great mindset, great basketball IQ. If not on a basketball floor as a professional basketball player, he will be able to produce somewhere else in basketball industry, whether it's EuroLeague or NBA, NCAA. So that's the most important part about this very, very sad day that we have.
Do you know Greek mythology at all? Do you know Sisyphus?
Some.
Sisyphus, who pushed the stone up a hill just to see it roll back again.
Yeah.
This is, because now he plays for a Greek team, I guess. This is the best analogy. Literally, the guy kept pushing back, and then it rolls back again, and it's for the third time in a row. I mean,
I love there was a lot of messages on the feed, and I loved the one by Tautvydas Sabonis, who is the current London Lions head coach and who worked with Keenan as an assistant coach in Žalgiris Kaunas. And he wrote something like that: never take any day for granted, especially when you get to do what you love, because you never know what can happen. Stay strong, Keenan, and everyone cherish every one moment you get to do what you love. I think that's very accurate one.
And the game just kind of became whatever
miserable
after that. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great game for Žalgiris, number one, in the first place. It was a good game for Olympiacos. They did all the right things offensively, attacking the mismatches, attacking Sylvan Francisco with Tyler Dorsey, just posting him up to start the game. Then later, anyone who was defended by Francisco, Saban Lee getting to the rack, like there's nobody there, shooting over Cisco. Everyone was feeling confident. The bigs also, Milutinov dominating inside.
To describe Milutinov's impact, you probably also have to use Greek mythology, because you cannot move that stone from the paint. He was just because the story of the first quarter was like this: Tyler Dorsey is scoring or he's missing, and Nikola Milutinov is getting an offensive rebound.
Yeah.
And Tyler Dorsey had one of the highest scoring quarters of the season. He had 12 against Žalgiris, I think, and except from one game against Partizan, where he was scoreless actually in the first quarter. In all other first quarters, he was averaging almost 10 points and 60% field goal shooting. So, by the way, I hope that Keenan Evans' return will be the biggest comeback of the season. But actually, Tyler Dorsey is having A1. I mean, because he's averaging almost 18 points. And the last year, he was posting 3.3 points per game. No injuries.
It's insane how
same Tyler Dorsey, same team.
Yeah.
Just a fit.
Yeah.
Confidence, role, and that's it. So that's why, I always I don't feel good when I hear, us I mean, I'm not excluding myself. Sometimes we judge some players on what we see on the court, but so many times they're just about fit. There's a lot of things about fit.
And the momentum of the players, like how is it going? How has it been for the last however many games or that season? The confidence is so much in basketball. Because if you come out to the court not knowing what is needed from you, can you shoot the shot or do you need to pass it out?
And this is 5 minutes I have to overperform because if not, I'm on the bench and probably I'm not showing up.
Yeah.
That's tough. And Tyler and his appearance kind of helped to cover Keenan's absence, Evan Fournier's slow start of the season. Speaking of confidence, you have to give credit to Coach Barsokas because he was one of the biggest believers, because he was the one who said that I don't need any other scoring guard. I trust in Keenan Evans. I hope he will return and we're going to move with him. Now, obviously, probably you're going to have to explore the market once again. And not so quite recently, I mean, they were targeting Jared Butler. And I remember it was basically between Olympiacos and Zvezda. And what happened, I mean, it's a very bad sequence for Olympiacos because they were targeting Jared Butler. He went to Zvezda. And at the same time, Bayern were making moves and actually rushing Spencer Dinwiddie to sign, because probably there is some chance that they would have considered Dinwiddie if he didn't sign with Bayern. But it was that quick. And Bayern, they knew actually that what's going on with Olympiacos and that they had to be quick. So market is very dry for these game-changing players.
Yeah.
Whew. Tough night.
Tough night.
Another tough night in the EuroLeague. We're missing too many good players and good guys. First of all.
Too many injuries. I mean, I don't know. This is a coincidence, tendency. We have more games. The season started earlier. The Eurobasket ended late. It's
a continuity of the previous seasons and the messed calendar that we have with the national teams, with the clubs here in Europe.
I'm not saying, this because some of these are freak injuries, but I guess when you put more, let's say, load on the body, maybe it's more likely to happen. Why do a lot of players take days off in the NBA, because they have the crazy schedule too with back-to-backs and all that. And I feel like in Europe we're getting kind of closer to that now. And I'm not saying this is because of it, but it just seems like
we're talking about the general picture of injuries that we have.
Yeah, we're just having more injuries than ever before. It feels like. I don't know the numbers.
Difference. I mean, I think it's even worse than the NBA because you cannot take a night off in the EuroLeague. There's extreme pressure, and we know what pressure and stress, how it impacts our bodies.
So the biggest winners right now in the EuroLeague are not the guys in the top of the standings. They're the guys who are not in our EuroLeague injury report on BasketNews.com. There's one team like Monaco. I see no injuries. And everyone else at least has one or other name in the list. It's
actually, I mean, I'm on the report right now. It looks horrible. I mean, it's such a long list.
It looks like the rosters are listed here.
Exactly.
For Zvezda?
Zvezda, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 freaking players.
Yeah.
Then you go with Dubai, 6 players. Milan, 6 guys. Come on.
It's insane.